about how big the game was a week ago in East Lansing. He played his best game, there's no question. But now what? Is he able to take that next step as a quarterback? Jim Harbaugh told us he's putting more on his plate from a formation standpoint, shifts, motions, checking at the line of scrimmage. Wilton Speight has to accept that, embrace it, and take that next step.
And he's going to throw on first down. And down the middle of the field and deep. Unable to hook up with Amara Darboh, who was outstanding a week ago. Some good coverage there from Alvin Hill.
I think you see last week against Michigan State, Michigan opened with a deep pass down the middle of the field. It was incomplete, and there was a conversation between Jedd Fisch and Wilton Speight. Hey, you got to hit those kind of things if I call them early, as we see the train formation on the second play.
The old train formation. Love to tell you what Andy Booz said about that last night in our meetings with him. I think that was Jim's way of welcoming them to the big house. In other words, Jake Butt on the receiving end of the short pass brings up a third down.
Yeah, that formation is used mostly by Jim Harbaugh just to hide personnel, right? It's difficult to see who's in the game. That time they had a couple tight ends. He's a matchup guy. He's from the NFL. Obviously, he's looking to create matchups and disguise personnel groupings, and very creative in the ways he does it.
Very creative. The phrase of the week has been window dressing, right? We heard that from everybody. All the shifts and the motion.
It all has meaning, though, Steve. There's certainly advantages to doing it.
Look forward to your explanation, everybody, for window dressing. On 3rd and 4, able to complete first down and plenty more. Jehu Chesson into the game.
We talked about that creativity and that design. Jim Harbaugh chooses to insert 2 tight ends. You see him on the 3 tight ends on the right side of the screen. All the window dressing, Steve, just to get an open receiver in Jehu Chesson.
And Brian, he does a nice job, Speight does, of being patient in the pocket. It also helps when your offensive line's giving you that kind of time.
For Chesson, that's 22 yards on the catch, and that is his 100th career reception for Jehu Chesson, the senior from St. Louis. On first down and 10. First run of the afternoon to Davion Smith for the short gain. Take a look at today's impact players, brought to you by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
And we talked about Darboh and an immediate target for him on the first play. Let's talk a little bit about Mason Cole. He made that switch from tackle this year to center. He has really thrived at that position. You talk about that time in the pocket that Wilton Speight has. Certainly, he has had a huge impact for that offensive line.
On 2nd down and 6. Sent Chesson in motion. He's in the backfield now. And the handoff to Chris Evans. Got some speed and some shift to him. He has the first down. Darnell Savage made the stop. Savage was a big question mark in the game today. Stops him after the gain of 10.
And you look at the blocking up front. We talked about Mason Cole gets the double team. Braden has made the switch from left guard to left tackle. A little bit chippy at the end of that play. Certainly you got guys that stand over a running back. It's not cool. Take a look at Kalis, 67. Tries to take a punch right there. Officials missed it.
On first down and 10 off the play fake. Here's Speight in some trouble. Avoids one would-be tackler. And is going to turn it upfield and go into the slide down at the 40-yard line. Speight showing off the wheels.
It's not always pretty, but he somehow can be an effective runner. We've seen this multiple times this season. Does a good job of making the first defender miss. He gets a little bit of help there from Jake Butt, his tight end, and then just kind of weaves his way down and does the smart thing and slides to protect himself.
And you don't always have to be fast or quick in a box to make guys move, right? Make do with what you got.
Out of the eye with Hill, the fullback, in front of Smith. Second man through is Davion Smith, dragging some people with him, like Jalen Brooks.
Late flag there.
9 on the run. See if it stands.
May have been Kalis again. Clearly, he's hot. He felt like somebody wronged, and he took a late shot. And you just got to be smarter than that.
The result of the play is a first down, Michigan. After the play was over, personal foul, offense number 67, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You can't let the emotion of one play bleed into the next play, right? Because the officials, they miss it one time. They're not going to miss it twice. And clearly that's late. And he's trying to protect his running back, but you just got to be smart. And Jim Harbaugh is going to take him out. And when he goes to the sideline, he's having an earful.
Oh, right there. Good ESPN audio. Maybe a little too good. Patrick Kugler checks in. The 6'5" senior from Wexford, Pennsylvania, to replace Kalis. Chesson in motion. And Spate to throw. Short throw able to complete to Chesson. His second catch, shy of the first down yardage.
That's a great job there by Wilton Spate, knowing that you're not going to get it all back in one play. You know, just take what the defense gives you, bring up a manageable situation. That's heady. You have one fifth-year senior in Kalis that loses his cool, and somebody has to grab the attention of this offense, and Wilton Spate did.
Jabril Peppers is on the field on offense. And he and Spate will switch. And now it's Peppers out of the Wildcat. Spate, the quarterback, top of your screen. And Peppers, who hasn't thrown it yet this season, will carry it. Peppers running for the 16th time this season. Gain of 6 on the play.
And we were talking with him last night. You know, he played quarterback in high school. And I said, you know, how much did you throw? What was the percentage of throws in high school? He said, you know, 40%. Like, I'd love to throw the, you know, the out routes. I'd throw something down the field. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything exotic. But with these 8- and 9-man fronts, I just want to throw the ball down the field. I hope Coach Harbaugh lets me do it soon.
He said, it's coming. It's got to be coming.
Devin Bush is checked in. And the throw. Spade had plenty of time. Beautiful pocket. It's Darboh. Touchdown. Making it look easy. Good for 34 in the score.
Right, what I saw there from the end zone is he's coming right down towards me. A great route by Darboh. Sells the post corner and comes back to the post. And it was that second move where he was able to accelerate off his clear foot and gain the separation he needed.
5 runs, 5 passes. The balance, you overcome the personal foul penalty from Kalis. That's an impressive opening drive by Michigan offensively.
Kenny Allen, the do-it-all kicker for the Wolverines, boots it through. 10 plays, 91 yards. Again, starting from their own 9 and making it look easy. Great pocket for Spate to step up and in a wide open Mara Darboh. 7-0, Michigan.
If you have a...
We're not going deep enough to see Penn State at 12 that has a lot of people's attention.
Yeah, we should have to go deeper to find Penn State.
Top 35. DJ Moore is back from Maryland. He'll take a knee, and we'll send it back to Adnan Virk.
All right, thank you very much, Leaves. Just want to update you with this Taco Bell studio update. It's going to be a high-scoring game between TCU and Baylor. This is Kenny Hill to Taj Williams. That didn't take long. As you can see, a minute into the game and 2 touchdowns already. 7-all, Steve. Back to you.
All right, Adnan, I think that Baylor-Texas game just ended a few minutes ago. We saw that.
Wait, there's a penalty on the play.
Let's review it. We clocked it at about 4 hours, 25 minutes from 1 week ago.
Okay, Perry Hills, quarterback for Maryland, in the big house on the road. Big challenge today.
Wes Brown, the single setback, and they'll hand it off to Brown. And he's going to lose yardage. Ty Johnson, I beg your pardon.
You're going to see up-tempo today for Maryland. This offense under Walt Bell, first year at Maryland, is as fast as they could possibly go. His disciple, Larry Fedora, has brought this style of offense to Maryland.
Again, it's Johnson. Out to the 30. Mike McCray made the stop.
Johnson was the ball carrier.
McCray was the player who last week on the first drive by Michigan State said the defense was emotionally hijacked. Remember, the Spartans went right down the field last week. 75 yards in the score. Of course, Michigan went right down the field when they had the ball the first time around as well. Pass from Hills is complete to Levern Jacobs.
I mean, take a look at Perry Hills, Steve, and what does he have to do today? Well, I think he he just needs to relax. You know, he's outplayed his expectations this year. Today, there's going to be some good plays. There's going to be some bad plays. He's got to have a short memory. And you see play bold at the bottom. That's what his coordinator, Walt Bell, wants him to do. Let it all hang out.
On the ground, Lorenzo Harrison. Again, it's McCray on the stop. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
And I think, you know, they got to soften up this defense on the perimeter. They're not going to be able to run it in between the tackles. They've got to insert Harrison and Johnson on the perimeter and then come up with a few exotics, a few trick plays here and there to help move the football.
Harrison is 5 feet 8 inches tall, but has a nose for the goal line and a nose for the first down marker there.
And we were already seeing early on here in this drive the strength of this Maryland team is the running back position. You've got Ty Johnson, number 23, Lorenzo Harrison, number 6, both youngsters, both averaging over 7 yards per carry.
Wes Brown, and Michigan doing a good job originally of stringing it out, but McCray couldn't make the original tackle, so DeMonte Thomas had to make it.
The first drive of every game for a defense is a lot of time the most difficult. Just because you don't know what you're going to see, there's going to be some wrinkles. You got to weather the storm because offenses will come out quick and they'll have wrinkles that you have to adjust to, and you don't have time to get on the sideline to do so.
The previous play is under further review.
Going to look at something.
I take a look to see if Wes Brown's knee maybe hit the ground when McCray had him behind the line of scrimmage. McCray comes up. No, he's not down, he's up. And I tell you, DJ Durkin is not happy about it because that takes away the momentum that they had going offensively. This offense is predicated on that. They want to tire a defense out. You take a look at Michigan now. They're right on the hash, huddled up as a defense, and Don Brown's making adjustments. I guarantee you, he's taking advantage of this replay time and say, all right, listen, this is what we saw in the first 4 or 5 plays. This is how we're going to adjust.
And Harbaugh joins the party as well.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Second down.
That's a fair gripe, I would say.
It's got to be an emotional return here for DJ Durkin. You know, we talked to him last night. He said, you know, if I would have been here maybe 6 years ago and I didn't know any of the players, it'd be a different deal, obviously. But he's an emotional guy, and he's got individual relationships with each of these players on Michigan's defense.
Now they'll wind the clock. And now they'll stop the clock.
They're going to get the right tackle with Damian Prince.
Full start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
DJ Durkin talked about the quick transitioning. They were in mid-construction of the house they were building in December in Ann Arbor when he got the job. Got to go. Had to sell the house. I wonder if he made money in the real estate market. Who makes money when you got to sell your house in a hurry, right? A long fake, and Hills is the ball carrier. Ben Gideon is first tackle of the afternoon.
Yeah, Ben Gideon is one of these players that doesn't get talked about on this Michigan defense. Everybody wants to talk Peppers. Everybody wants to talk Jordan Lewis, the defensive line. The biggest question mark coming into the season for Michigan was linebacker. And Don Brown says Ben Gideon has gotten better every single week in the middle.
And as he's gotten better, his mustache has gotten thicker. Here's 3rd and 12. 6 defensive backs in for Michigan. See how many they rush. I got 5 coming. And so does Hills. He'll take on 3 of them before he's dropped. Gideon leading the party.
If Maryland gets in 3rd and 7+, at any point in this game, it's going to be tough. There is just nowhere for Perry Hills to go to throw the football.
That false start penalty was killer because they were looking at 2nd and 5, and all of a sudden at 2nd and 10, they don't get it. They get negative yardage on the 2nd down play. And as you know, against this Don Brown defense, you have no chance if you're working 3rd and long trying to throw the football.
Wade Lees is the punter, and he gets it away. And Peppers will call for the fair catch. third tackle for loss of that series. So the Michigan defense does what you would expect. Will we expect to see Peppers on offense? Michigan presented by Walmart, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Nebraska, the one-game lead in the Big Ten West. They control their own destiny in that division. And Michigan opened up, starting from their own 9 last series, and promptly matriculated down the field for a touchdown. And here they open up at the 16, and Spate's going to throw across the middle. Hit Darboh again. First down yardage. Amara Darboh was responsible for 6 of the team's 9 catches in the first half a week ago.
Yeah, last week they scored on their first 5 possessions against Michigan State, and Darboh was a big reason why. There's no question he's become the #1 target for Wilton Speight in this offense. I feel like he's playing at an All-American level, Steve, is that good. And I think people thought that it was J.U. Chesson that was going to be the guy coming in.
Well, this is Chesson's month. Chesson had a big November a year ago. Hand off to Ty Isaac will try the left side on for size. Picks up a few. He sent it back to Adden Inver.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Just want to update you on what's happening with Florida and Arkansas. Razorbacks here is the defense going into offense. Santos Ramirez there, the strong safety, the 24-yard interception return, 7-0 right now for the Hogs. Back to you and Brian.
Okay, Adnan, thank you. Here's 2nd and 7. Devin Asiasi is one of the tight ends in. Number 2 in blue. Send Eddie McDoom in motion. And it is McDoom, the ball carrier. They like to hand the ball off to McDoom. Last week he led the team in rushing. 2 carries for 53 yards. That was good for 12.
Anytime you get that 2 tight end look on the left side of the screen and McDoom in motion, you got to be alert for this jet sweep. And you know, Michigan has now a tendency with McDoom. Anytime he's in the game, there's a high probability of the jet sweep. He's got to continue to grow as a player and be able to catch the football and block in the running game to take the pressure off of him.
Jabril Peppers, top of the screen. Now they'll hand it off to Peppers. He's going to throw. Back to Speight. Speight looking downfield. For Chesson, he's got him. Speight to Peppers, back to Speight to J.U. Chesson.
Well, we said he could throw the ball. He did it a lot in high school. Let's take a look at his arm here. You got to make sure you throw it backwards. He just checked that off. Nice. Gave him enough time, and Speight finds Chesson downfield for the big play. I don't know if that's what he was thinking. He probably wanted to throw it down the field, not back.
A forward pass. I don't know. The nose died a little bit on that throw. Let's be honest.
Big play. Gain of 40 on it. Karan Higdon is in the backfield as the tailback. He is the ball carrier. And he'll crash down to the 10-yard line.
You just get so many different looks from this offense. You know, we talked about the personnel groupings. We talked about the power run game. It's always going to be a staple for Jim Harbaugh. Now that Wilton Speight has got into his own and settled in as a first-year starter in this system, and then you add in the explosiveness of a Darboh, Chesson, and Jabril Peppers, and it's tough to stop.
And at some point, he's going to go to Jake Butt in this game. He's gotten everybody else already. Here's 2nd down and 7. Speight is looking for Butt. Going to take it up the middle and leap into the end zone. Hop, skip, and a jump. And an extra point away from a 14-0 Michigan lead.
You're absolutely right, Steve. He wanted to throw it to his All-American tight end, Jake Butt. He was double covered. Great reaction and response from Wilton Speight. And he crosses the goal line with flair.
10-yard touchdown run for Wilton Speight. Here's Kenny Allen.
You get to a point, Steve, as a quarterback, you get comfortable, you start executing, you take shots down the field, you manage the offense in a run game, and then all of a sudden it clicks and you make a play with your feet, and that looks like the jump man, doesn't it?
First rushing touchdown of the season for the QB.
A personal loan from SoFi is the smart way to consolidate debt. Get your rate online in less than 2 minutes. Visit trysofi.com.
Welcome back to Ann Arbor, 14-0 Michigan. Last touchdown run from Wilton Speight. He wanted to get the ball to his All-American tight end, Jake Butt, in the slot. But watch as he comes off the field, he's double covered, both safety and underneath. Nowhere to go with that ball. It's a great reaction from Wilton Speight, who's not the fleetest of foot, but we've seen in this game 2 times he's done this, and to finish with the jump man. I love it.
Of course, the jump man logo you can see up around the collar area for Michigan, wearing the Michael Jordan here all season long. Maryland will take over at the 25 on offense against the Michigan defense. Arguably is the best in the nation.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. It's Alabama and Michigan. Those are the top 2 defenses in college football. And certainly there's a mix on this defense. We know about Jabril and what he brings. We know about Jordan Lewis, but I would contend that the strength of this defense is that defensive line. 8, 9 deep, and they rotate every single series, and so they're fresh. Mo Hurst, you see there, 73, had a monster game last week against Michigan State. It's just tough to get anything going.
Maryland need to slow things down in terms of hanging on to the football. They want to go fast. Here's Ty Johnson. What a tackle for the loss. Tyree Kinnell made the stop, came up from his strong safety position, went bowling right there, as they say.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Tyree Kinnell. You know, he's a backup safety. Delano Hill and DeMonte Thomas are starters, but in their dime package, Kinnell plays a bunch.
Big gainer to Levern Jacobs. Has some running room. He's across midfield.
This has to be a part of Maryland's attack today, the screen game. You're going to get this rush up the field. You got to be able to get it to Levern Jacobs, one of their better playmakers at the wide receiver position, and Michigan drops the angle on Jacobs, and he gets a big gain.
And they'll pitch to Harrison, and he has some running room.
Going back to that last point, a good gainer. Hill's nice job hanging on just long enough to set up that screen. He paid for it. He took a pounding by 2 Michigan defenders and just bounced right back up.
That's the way it's going to be all game, Todd. I mean, he's got to get hit. The question is, can he get rid of it on target?
2nd and 5. Try the right side with Harrison. He's got the first down and then some. Inside the Michigan 30. For an alternate angle of today's game, you can check out our SkyCam coverage streaming live on Watch ESPN, brought to you by Microsoft Cloud. Watch the entire game from the perspective of SkyCam.
That's my favorite angle.
Pretty cool, pretty neat.
Put you in the quarterback's helmet.
Gain of 16 on that play. Here's Maryland on the move. Ty Johnson, the left side. Wow, you hear the crashing of the helmets. Delano Hill came up to put the stick on him.
That's 3 straight times, Steve, that the ball has gone to the perimeter immediately after the snap. I think it's pretty clear that Walt Bell wants to soften his defense up by making them run sideline to sideline, as you see Mike McCrary still down.
Yeah, McCray had him around the ankles. And he stays down on the turf. Hill came up to put the big hit on. And the stadium's gone silent.
Looks like they're looking at his left leg. He's probably also exhausted. So he's just run sideline to sideline on 3 consecutive plays. And not only he, but this entire Michigan defense. I mean, that's the approach you're going to see. When you have such a stout defense up front, you're going to make them try to run sideline to sideline, tire them out before you try to run inside.
The applause for Mike McCray. Devin Bush will replace McCray for now.
We talked about Ben Gideon and how much he stepped up at the linebacker spot for Michigan defensively, and talking with Don Brown last night, he said, you know, Mike McCray has been a huge piece of our success this year too. That linebacker spot, you see Coach Brown there, has been a very nice surprise for him this year.
It's Ty Johnson in motion. Has the football. Trying to turn the corner, and did. Channing Stribling got just enough to knock him off his feet. Gain of 4 on the play. Stribling was one of the players in that Michigan defense who really faltered in that second half a week ago.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter, you know, Coach Brown thought that there were some missed tackles. They allowed Michigan State to kind of sniff around there at the end, and Stribling, certainly one of them, held accountable.
Give it back to DJ Moore. On the reverse, here's Moore. Has the first down, he's down at the 10. This is an impressive Maryland drive.
Absolutely, and it's all been on the perimeter. And that time another missed tackle, and it's Channing Stribling, and this has become a trend. He's in good position. He doesn't get fooled by the reverse, but you got to come up and make this tackle right here. And DJ Moore is a good player, but this defense does not miss tackles, and Stribling knows it.
Gain of 14. Hand off to Kenneth Goins, and he's down at the 5. There's a flag down.
Illegal formation. Offense. In the backfield. Penalty. First down.
So Maryland's down 14-0. They've got to get the ball in the end zone here. But last week, what did we see when Michigan State got inside the 10-yard line? They had 10 plays inside that 10-yard line and got no points. This defense of Michigan is salty when they get their backs against the wall.
That'll do it end of the quarter. Michigan State, against Michigan State a week ago, the Wolverines defense stopped them on 4th and 1. And then on 4 straight tries from the 2. Let's see what the defense does here against Maryland. We come back. 14-0 Wolverines. 6 yards per snap on this for the game, and really moving the football down the field here.
Yeah, it's all been on the outside, but Steve, you know, you get down in this area of the field, and it's very difficult to punch it in against Michigan defensively. I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland, at the 15-yard line on first down, decides to take some kind of a shot into the end zone, maybe off a trick play.
On first down and goal. Hills to throw, out of the backfield, Wes Brown had a bit of a stumble, and that might have cost him 6. He's down to about the 2-yard line.
That's a great design from Walt Bell. You know, on first down, you got to do it because the threat of run is there, and you line up Wes Brown as a tailback, and he's ultimately the one that slips into the flat and puts Maryland in a goal-to-go situation on the 2.
Second and goal.
Do a similar kind of thing. Roll him out on the edge.
Hand off to Kenneth Goins. He's going to lose yardage.
Well, everything's been east-west, trying to get to the perimeter, as you've mentioned a couple times, Brian, but it's tough when you're down here. There's just not a lot of space to get outside. The play takes so long to develop. They're going to have to get creative here.
Yeah, you got to throw the football. And that's not what Maryland really wants to do. But down here, because Michigan doesn't have to defend the depth of the field, they're all up on the lines of scrimmage trying to stop the run.
3 tackles for loss already by this great Michigan defense. Here's 3rd and goal from just inside the 5. And whistle. See if somebody jumped on the defense.
Before the ball was snapped. False start. Offense, number 75.
3rd penalty.
3rd down.
3rd penalty on the drive by Maryland.
Yep, and Michigan was coming up with an all-out pressure, and that's the true freshman Terrence Davis, the right guard, jumped a little bit early. That's not a terrible penalty, and here's why. Because they're going to throw the ball anyway, and when you move back a little bit, you have a little bit more space to throw the ball into the end zone. So
good look at the defense through Lorenzo Harrison's eyes there. Send Jacobs in motion. Here's Hills to throw, being chased. Hills is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ryan Glasgow forced him out. 4th and goal from just inside the 5.
Yeah, they were trying to get the screen set up to Lorenzo Harrison, and he just wasn't able to weave his way through all the linemen in the trash in the middle of the field. Brings up the field goal attempt.
Caleb Rowe, one of the backup quarterbacks, is the holder. Adam Green is the kicker. This will be from 29 yards away. Green has missed 2 on the season, both coming against UCF. So an outstanding drive by Maryland results in the old goose egg. 0 points. Green clanks it. Afternoon game. 2 times have had the football, scored 2 touchdowns.
Pretty impressive. I mean, we know how good Michigan is defensively, but the way that they've started games the last month of the season has really been impressive. They've been on point. They're getting great play up front from this offensive line, and their playmakers are beginning to emerge.
From the 20 with Davion Smith in the tailback spot. And they will hand it off on 1st and 10. Here's Smith, has plenty of running room. Across the 30 and forced out at about the 34-yard line.
You know, after that last missed field goal, it's easy for Maryland maybe to get their heads down, but look at their emotional leader, DJ Durkin, in there trying to get their heads up, saying, hey, we still have all this opportunity here. I'm talking with him last night. I thought it was really cool. You know, he says we're not where we need to be, obviously, from a personnel standpoint, but we are going to be coming. And this game is a great opportunity for us to show what we got.
Here's Spate, has two tight ends in there, and he'll find one of them. Jake Butt, welcome to the football game. Down to the 30-yard line. Out of a 2 tight end set with Butt and Bunting. Gain of 37.
Get the sting from play action when you're able to run the football, and this is the #1 route for Jake Butt. That over route off of the play action is tough to stop.
And Michigan's really throwing the ball well so far. The defense for Maryland has really excelled in pass defense this season, and they've come out and said, you know what, we're going to throw on them anyway. 241 passing yards so far, and still have 12 minutes left in the second quarter.
Kingsley Opara is down and now up. The junior from Jacksonville, Florida, is having a really strong season on that Maryland defense.
Well, and to Todd's point, you know, Wilton Spate, you don't have that many yards passing unless you're pushing it down the field, and that has been maybe the biggest growth area for him this season, has been pushing the ball down the field and the accuracy with which he's doing so. You see 4 out of 5 already today.
Harbaugh told us he all but has the keys to the car now. I mean, it's completely put everything in pretty much. He has progressed his legs. Even Spade said he's been taking little steps, took a big step forward 1 week ago.
Yep. He's always done a great job under pressure, but now we saw it on tape, and Coach Harbaugh mentioned it yesterday, doing a great job. Guys in his face, extending his arm and getting the ball out right before taking a hit.
On 1st and 10 for Davion Smith off the pitch, and he'll take on some people and initiate some contact himself.
You know, when you have success throwing the ball, running the ball, it becomes infectious. You get guys that are competing to make plays. And I think when you have Amara Darboh start to come on, then J.U. Chesson wants to make more plays. When you have Brett Peppers come in and get some yards, run the football, then Davion Smith says, hey, remember me, Jake Butt, all these pieces, they're competing to make plays and get the football right now.
Juwan Bushell-Beatty is in. Today he's wearing number 10. He changes weekly. Handoff to Smith. And he should have enough for the first down. You can also tell Bushell-Beatty, I think he's the only Wolverine without his name on his uniform. That's how often he changes the jersey.
Well, how many times did we see Jim Harbaugh do that at Stanford, right? And Tim Drevno, the offensive coordinator, they would have 3 or 4 tackles that would come into the game. They've used primarily tight ends here at Michigan, but Bushell-Beatty's the first tackle that we've seen.
But it looks like he bought it in the gift shop and snuck onto the field, okay? Big fella can fit in nicely. 12th first down so far for the Wolverines. Spate to throw. And Spate to complete to Jake Butt. Second grab of the afternoon. Jalen Brooks the tackle.
You think that Bushell-Beatty just goes in the locker room before the game and says, hey, I want to be 10 today?
As long as he doesn't take 14, Grease, I'm good with it. How 14 is not retired here is beyond me. Peppers checks in. He's number 5. He's always number 5.
This is his area of the field. Inside this red zone area, he's a touchdown maker.
Hand it off to Peppers. And he'll run. Inside the 10. And he's slammed out just before the goal line of the 3.
You know about the speed of Jabril Peppers, one of the fastest, if not the fastest on the team, but check out the power at the end of this run. He is not afraid to lower the shoulder, gets his knees up. He's like a big fullback in a hole.
Also does a nice job of tempoing that run, kind of slowing down a little bit, shifting gears, and then when he knows he's about ready to turn the corner, he can turn it on as quickly as anyone.
He told us he loves the contact on defense. He'd much rather hit than cover. On 1st and goal, 2 tight ends. That's front in motion. Hoji's the fullback. Davion Smith is the touchdown maker. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for Michigan. DJ Durkin, he's only 38 years old. He's going to have some more gray hair after this one.
I think he knew what he was up against coming in. If anybody knew how good this Michigan team is, it was DJ Durkin.
Out of the hold of Garrett Moores. Kenny Allen puts it through. Touchdown drives of 91, 84, and 80 yards. What's Todd McShay think about Jabril Peppers on Sundays when we come back? The only way to get Michigan apparel is you had to steal it from the athletic department. Hey,
oh, wow.
It's one way to go.
I know. I went to Moe's.
You paid full price.
What did you do?
Oh, I stole it, of course. They weren't going to give me one, Grease. Not like you. I would have been a preferred walk-on, though, I assure you. Preferred.
No question.
DJ Moore will let it go. Maryland will take over with the football. More on Jabril Peppers. Can't do enough, and how he projects out Sundays. Todd, your thoughts?
He reminds me a lot of Deon Buchanan. A lot of people say, well, who's Deon Buchanan? Well, he's a first-round pick from Washington State. I know he didn't get as much national love as Jabril Peppers, but what he did is, as a first-round pick, went into Arizona for the Cardinals as a Pro Bowler right away. He was a safety in college. The first time he played linebacker was at the NFL level. Now, the advantage that Peppers has is he's had this year to spend in the box playing that outside linebacker position. And Buchanan calls himself the money backer, and that's basically what Peppers is going to be. Just a versatile outside linebacker, strong safety that can line up all over the field.
1st and 10 from the 25 off the play fake. Hills is throwing, and Hills is completing the DJ Moore to the 35. How about the big board, Todd? How high on the big board is he?
Got him at number 4 right now. I mean, the guy's a top 10 pick, I think, all day long. And, you know, again, if people ask what position is he and will the versatility translate, because we don't know if he's going to return kicks and punts, and don't know if he's going to play on offense. But as we've seen this year, his ability to defend the run, all the tackles for loss, consistently being able to match up. And you talk to guys in the league, 60 to 70% of the time you're in nickel or dime situations. So you're going to, for Peppers, that just fits in terms of what they're looking for at the next level.
All right, Todd, while we were talking Peppers, we were looking at Perry Hills, the senior quarterback. Took a big shot there on the way down from Chase Winovich.
Yeah, he was just trying to get, we talked about him hanging in there to throw the screen. He had to hold on, and Winovich comes in. I'm not so sure. That was a late hit there. I mean, that ball was gone for a step and a half. Then Winovich gets him and then wraps him and then drives him into the ground. And that does not feel good. I've been in that situation too many times where you go down on a shoulder like that, and it doesn't look good for Perry Hills. And here you see Tyrell Pigram, true freshman from Alabama, started against Penn State, and it's tough. You know, when you come in as a true freshman to play in this kind of an offense, he's more of an elusive running style of quarterback, and not the kind of offense that Maryland would need to move the football consistently against Michigan.
Hills had been 4 for 4 for 73 yards. And now he walks slowly off the field. We'll get it quickly to Adnan Burke.
All right, Steve, just want to let you know about this Buffalo Wild Wings wild play. This would be Virginia Tech and Duke. 30-yard field goal attempt from A.J. Reed, but Greg Stroman comes up with the block, and then Adonis Alexander is off to the races. 75 yards for the touchdown. Virginia Tech has a 14-7 lead. It's over on ESPNU, Leaves.
All right, Adnan, thank you.
Caleb Rowe in the game.
And that's Ty Johnson, the ball carrier.
So Caleb Rowe has started at Maryland. Started 3 years ago, a few games. He was in the competition with Perry Hills this offseason, and I think that's a sign from Maryland and their offensive staff saying we need to be able to throw the football in this game, and we can't just do it with a true freshman Piglam at quarterback.
Rowe has over 2,600 yards passing in his career and 18 touchdown passes. Give it to DJ Turner, trying to turn the corner, and he has a couple of yards before Peppers throws him out of bounds.
Peppers, he tried to run that early, and Maryland has hurt Michigan in this game early, running the ball laterally, and one of the adjustments from Don Brown is he's going to put Jabril Peppers on the outside and allow him to run laterally.
Third down and 5 upcoming.
Maryland's going to let this clock run down and call a timeout.
2 on the play clock. And there it is.
Timeout. Maryland, their first of the half. Full media time.
7:41 left today, first half, owned by Michigan. He's had some injury problems, and those persist. Get an update for him when we can. Caleb Rowe is a quarterback for the Terps, trailing by 21. Maybe a gain of 1 by Lorenzo Harrison. Chase Winovich made the stop. Winovich is the player who slammed Hills into the turf.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Perry Hills, a senior. Hopefully that injury is not too serious. So it looks like Maryland's going to go for it here. Down 21-0 across the 50-yard line. I agree with it.
Peppers had dropped back to receive the punt, and then had to run back up the field to play some defense. Here's 4th and 3. Rowe out of the gun. Good pocket for him, and incomplete. His receiver, DJ Moore, was down. Jordan Lewis had the tight cover. There is no flag.
Yeah, and that was a misread there by Caleb Rowe. They're trying to isolate Harrison, 23, the running back, on Gideon. Take a look at this route. Unbelievable route. That's where the ball should go for a first down. Instead, he tries to force it outside. He's throwing on number 26. By the way, he's one of the best corners in college football. That's just not where that football should have gone.
So Michigan will take over on downs, and they'll do so obviously with excellent field position, their own 49-yard line. This is Michigan's 4th possession of the game, and the first 3 have resulted in touchdowns. Fake to Higdon. Spate looking to throw, and spins one on the near side. Could not connect with Amara Darboh.
Spate's pass incomplete, intended for Amara Darboh.
You know, Michigan's been, look, they've been great in every quarter and every half, but especially in the first half. Wow, look at those eye-popping numbers.
Yeah, and a big part of that is obviously, you know, them coming out ready to play. But a big part, I believe, is that this offense is one of the more difficult offenses in college football to prepare for. With all the different looks that they give you, defenses are on their heels, especially early in games.
Window dressing. Davion Smith, the ball carrier, stumbles forward for a few.
Davion Smith, the ball carrier.
I thought it was interesting last night talking to Andy Boo, the defensive coordinator for Maryland, said we have to prepare against Michigan for 20 different personnel groupings, meaning running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, all the different combinations. And he said we've had 3 guys that are in the booth, 3 coaches in the coaches booth that are 100% dedicated on this side of the ball to figuring out what the personnel grouping is on every play, because we can't call a defensive play or do anything until we figure out what guys are going to be on the field.
3rd and 7. Spate under pressure, gets away. And Spate will throw and complete to Khalid Hill, the fullback out of the backfield. Gain of 15 on the play. Spate's got it all going on.
Well, he does, but give credit to Khalid Hill here. This is a great adjustment. Take a look at number 8 in the backfield. He's blocking. He's in protection. There is no route for Khalid Hill. This is just playing in the backyard. Everybody's covered. He says, I'm going to go downfield. Nobody accounted for me. And Wilton Spate finds him. That's impressive. Fresh set of downs for Michigan.
And the flag flies.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, just to finish up on what Todd was talking about last night with Coach Boo, and this offense now is the outlier in college football, right? It used to be that the spread offenses, that Baylor spread is different than the spread throwing the ball to Mike Leach. Everybody's running that now. Nobody is doing what Jim Harbaugh is doing, right? David Shaw, obviously, still doing it at Stanford. But this is now the most difficult offense to prepare for.
Well, not right there. Wow, best defensive play of the game for Maryland. And it's Jesse Annabonum coming up to make the play.
Annabonum, we haven't talked a whole lot about. He's mostly a third down specialist, and that's a bust from Eric Magnuson, the right tackle, who's supposed to fan out. But Annabonum was the biggest play defensively for Maryland in his first half.
Finally, a tackle for loss by Maryland. Michigan's been living on that in the first half. First negative yardage play by the Michigan offense today. That's Chesson, bottom of your screen. Spade, another excellent pocket, all sorts of time, able to throw, incomplete. It's Drake Harris. There is a number 14 on Michigan. There is a flag on the play. But Spade had all the time to make that throw.
And I don't know, this could go either way, offensive or defensive pass interference. Drake got a little bit of separation at the end. Did he push off is the question.
Pass interference. Offense, number 14. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Nullifies a 38-yard gain.
There was good position by the defense there. Harris just at the very end. That was a little push on the face.
Something about wearing that 14 in maize and blue. I don't know.
Always getting hit.
Always getting penalized. I don't recall you ever having an offensive pass interference called against you.
No? I did have a reception, though.
You did?
Yeah.
I need to hear more about that, please.
Maybe you'll see it later.
Oh, really? 2nd and 34 after the penalty. Spade will try to dump it off, and does. Able to check it down to Chris Evans. Evans had all sorts of problems juggling the football, and now he's running into the end zone. No, they're going to say he's out at the half-yard line. A play that started in the worst of ways winds up in a 56-yard gain.
How nice it must be to be backed up in this situation, 34 yards, and just call a screen. I'm not so sure he didn't get in the end zone here. Let's take a look. If he steps in the end zone, then it does not matter if that ball goes inside the pylon. That's the goal line extended rule. The question is, did his right foot go in, and where was the ball when his right foot stepped in the end zone?
The ruling on the field is that the runner was short of the goal line. It is under further review.
So just to clear that up, so the football, if it crosses the plane or touches that pylon, it's a touchdown. We know that. But there is one little wrinkle to that rule, that if a body part, if a foot or a hand or anything touches in the end zone, then the goal line extends out of bounds. And in that case, and only that case, the football can cross outside of that pylon. The question is, was that right foot crossing the plane of the goal line? And if so, then where was the football?
I had him in.
You got all that?
I had him in originally, the naked eye.
I think that foot is short of the end zone, and in that case, the ball would have gone out of bounds before he got in. Now, did he touch the pylon? Is another question. Doesn't touch the pylon.
I'm more impressed by the fact that would have been a horrendous drop. He very nearly dropped the football, and then turns it into a 56-yard gain.
I think that was really well officiated right there. That ball should be placed at the half-yard line. It's not an easy, that's a really quick play, and it's not easy to officiate. That was well done. Look at that catch.
He juggled it 3 times. That's talent to turn that into this.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. First and goal.
They don't like it, but it's the right call.
First and goal. Instead.
Something tells me it's only a matter of time anyway.
Yes. Jim, your thoughts? Did not require the microphone for that.
Theatrics?
He wasn't cheering that loud at the World Series when we saw him. Spade will hand it off. It's the touchdown maker, Khalid Hill. 9th rushing touchdown of the season, 10th overall.
Great job by Mason Cole, the center. We've talked about him a couple times so far, number 52. Guy moves from left tackle to center, and he's just excelling at this position. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to wind up getting drafted a lot higher than he would have had he stayed out at left tackle, and he really enjoys the mental part of playing the center position. Right there, it was all physical.
Four possessions, 4 touchdowns, and 4 extra points by Kenny Allen. In all, it's 51 yards, 6 plays, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. It's all Michigan against the
Tonight?
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game. Are you picking them?
You know, when I ask you these questions every week, you never give me any opinion.
Well, I think the people want to know from the guy who played college football.
It's wishy-washy.
Time for our AT&T Inside Access. The Michigan banner used for the Wolverines pregame runout is now held where? Under lock and key in a secret location somewhere in the stadium. The reason for that, you see, in 1973, Ohio State tore the banner down. In 1998, it was stolen. They stole the banner, thus forcing increased security for the sacred banner.
You know, they put that thing out there, Steve, and you run out, and it's one of the great traditions of Michigan, but it's not so easy to get that high to touch that banner. You got to have some high. I put it at 50-50 if you could touch it.
Did you swing and miss a few times? Long throw for DJ Moore. Knocked away. Jordan Lewis on the cover.
So Peppers comes out. He's got a different routine every time he touches the banner. What do you have this today? Ooh, double clutch reverse.
Right, reverse double pump thing going on. So did you ever swing and miss? Did you ever get up there and just miss?
So we used to have a pretty healthy Friday workout, leg workout. You know, when you weren't playing, they kind of, they get after you, and sometimes, yeah, it's harder when you can't feel your legs to get up there and touch that thing. But no, I did reach it.
But you were 6'2" back then.
Sounded like he was setting up a lot of excuses there.
Maybe we should get Todd next time we're here. See if he.
I leaped once this year.
We saw our pal Rich Eisen when he was honored as one of the captains.
Yeah, he was mad at you guys.
About what?
Well, you guys said you barely got a finger on. He wanted you to check the tape. He thought he got a whole hand.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and look at that.
It's under review.
We could have some free time in the second half. It's 28-0 Michigan. And a sack. Rowe is dropped. Back at the 20-yard line by Chase Winovich. And speaking of the traditions here at Michigan, you've been on campus more this season than when you actually played for the team, I think.
Well, this is our 4th time here, and I am always happy to come back here. This is a great scene.
I see Grease about kickoff time because he is going through doing the schmooze fest, shaking hands and kissing babies throughout the stadium. He's worked his way into every single suite. Wade Lee's punching away. And Peppers will call for the fair catch. Thought he was going to try to make the spin move there.
You weren't complaining when I got the upgrade in the food.
No, not one to complain.
He hasn't run out of restaurants yet, though. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's true.
Your guy's personal concierge this season.
It's been really nice.
Like I said, when we go to Oswego to broadcast the game, I'll be happy to take care of the reservation.
We're great in Richmond, Virginia.
I'll be retired if we go to those 2 places.
Oswego, New York is beautiful this time of year, much like it is here. What's going on with the weather?
Wow.
High 60s, beautiful here.
It's global warming.
And we can talk more about that in the second half probably as well. 2.5 to play here in the first half, dominated by Michigan. This is their 5th possession. They have 4 touchdowns so far. Davion Smith is the ball carrier. Roman Braglio made the tackle.
Speaking of the Richmond Spiders, DJ Durkin hired Mike London from the University of Virginia, was the head coach, obviously was the head coach of the Richmond Spiders. And you know, he's brought some really good members of this staff. Pete Lembo, 15 years a head coach. You see Mike London there. Mike London with some really good roots in the recruiting in the Virginia Beach area.
Here's Speight throwing for Butt, making some people miss, and then taking on some would-be tacklers inside the Maryland 40-yard line.
Mike London was a police officer in the D.C. area and actually went up to a car where they had an arrest to make, and he was on the passenger side and told the two gentlemen to put their hands up, and one of the guys pulled a gun on him, pulled the trigger, and the gun got lodged. The bullet got lodged, I should say, and he decided very shortly after that, with his daughters at home, that he was done with being a police officer and wanted to be a football coach. And he actually came to Richmond when I was a sophomore, I believe, as an outside linebacker coach, and just a few years later led Richmond to the national championship as the head coach.
He's a great football coach, even better man, and he's a big part of DJ Durkin's staff from a recruiting standpoint. So is Pete Lembo, obviously 15 years most recently as a head coach.
And that's it. It's all about recruiting, you know, really right now for Maryland. Look, they could still get bowl eligible. I mentioned their Murderer's Row schedule. At Michigan, next week Ohio State, then at Nebraska. But they finish at home against Rutgers, and there's the spot to become bowl eligible.
Yeah, but look at the momentum already. I mean, DJ Durkin, one of the best recruiters in college football, has been for the last 5 or 6 years when he was at Florida, here at Michigan, obviously even going back to Stanford. And he already has, at this point anyway, a top 20 class for next year.
He spoke about the recruiting home base they have, and that they're already probably recruiting better players than they should be based on their record, but there's so much talent in that Maryland area. Speight throwing deep's got a man wide open, and he can't hang on. Jake Butt bangs his fists into the turf, had it, and then he didn't.
Normally double moves are reserved for wide receivers because of their skill set, but watch Jake Butt with this double move, a little hook and go. He has the size of a tight end at 6'5", 250, but he has the speed and the athleticism of a wide receiver, and that's why he's an All-American.
Todd, what round is Butt going in the draft?
I think probably second round. There's a lot of good tight ends, first time in a few years, but I think O.J. Howard from Alabama, he's going to be right there in the mix and probably top 50, top 60 pick.
Great job, McShay. I tried to catch him off guard. Bam, he's right on.
I'm here for you.
On 2nd and 10, here's Speight. He'll step up and throw. Able to connect with Eddie McDoom, and he's sent flying by J.C. Jackson. Minute 15 left to play in the half.
I don't think there's a better tight end in college football than Jake Butt. I know there's a lot of guys out there. O.J. Howard had a splash in the national championship game, but he is just, for my money, he's reliable, and pass protection, he's outstanding. Run blocking, he's gotten much better the last couple of years. He is as complete a tight end as we have in college football.
On 3rd and 4. Speight steps up and now throws. Wide open. Touchdown, Jehu Chesson. Simply amazing. And Speight has gotten out of trouble and been on the money every time in the first half.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't panic. If somebody comes free, he relies on his frame at 6'6", 250. He just makes one subtle move in the pocket to buy more time. Just as I said, Jake Butt's a great pass pro. Watch, he gets beat, of course. But a great double move on the outside by Chesson. And you know Jim Harbaugh, right? You know he's going to continue to attack. Even though it's his buddy on the other side and DJ Durkin, he is going to continue to attack for 60 minutes.
Kenny Allen puts it through. That's all Michigan, 35-0. Him so much.
They need you to lighten them up a little bit.
10 a.m. Eastern, catch NFL Insiders, a Sunday edition. Then at 11 a.m., it's Chris Berman and the best in the business. And this week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, the Bills are in Seattle. We'll see you on SportsCenter at night with Scott Van Pelt after Monday Night Football. How about Wilton Speight and the numbers he has put up? 13 of 16, 292 yards passing. We're not even at halftime.
Yeah, and it's been his decision making. You know, he hasn't forced the ball. When it's been there, he's taken his shots. If it hasn't been, he's used his legs and he's extended plays. He hasn't panicked when the protections have broken down. And we talked about it. He's big enough to do this, and he gets his eyes downfield. And this is a sign of a quarterback that is maturing, that is comfortable in his own skin. He's got a high release, opportunity to throw balls even under duress. And Jim Harbaugh knows that his quarterback's playing the best football of the season.
Little pitch and catch there. Caleb Rowe able to hook up with Teldrick Morgan for his first catch.
And really, that was the big question for Michigan coming into the season, was their quarterback position. It seems like an eternity ago where it was a quarterback competition. It's certainly not now.
I think they made the right call there on Spate. That is a catch by Lever Jacobs, and a timeout with 19 seconds left in the half. 35-0 Michigan.
Well, and he's gotten better every week. I mean, that's the point. You made the point. You know, he was taking baby steps for a couple of weeks. Last week against Michigan State was a big step forward. And then the question today, well, could he take that next step? Now, I realize Maryland is putrid defensively, but you still got to come out and play the game, and he couldn't have been more perfect in the first half.
We are light years away from that first throw of the season, right? Getting intercepted, him coming over thinking he's going to get the worst of Jim Harbaugh, and Harbaugh's smiling at him, saying, hey, it's okay.
Yep.
And now the transformation. We've actually heard where it's Harbaugh who's lost it on the sideline, and Spate is calming him down, which is really neat to see.
Yeah, he said last week at one point in the Michigan State game, you know, Jim Harbaugh gave him the play on the sideline, and then Wilton started to go out to the huddle on the field, and Jim was running after him, saying, Will, come here. He says, what? He said, you got the play? He said, yeah, relax, I got the play.
I got this, coach. Total transformation. On 2nd and 1. Rowe completes. Able to hook up with Teldrick Morgan again, and he has enough for the first down with 13 ticks left in the half. A field goal would be something here even for Maryland.
This is an important drive for Caleb Rowe. Now he's been thrown into this situation. The reality of the situation has set in for him, and it's probably going to be his game the rest of the way. It's an opportunity for him, and he's got a lot of pride. Been at Maryland for 5 years. He wants to play well the rest of this game.
Senior from Landrum, South Carolina, attended Blue Ridge High School. Rowe throwing, has a man open. Did he hang on? No. The official will say no. He was right there. And the receiver, DJ Moore, unable to hang on to a double coverage there.
He got walloped by Jabril Peppers. A great throw from Caleb Rowe. Peppers came on a blitz from the outside. Yikes. So all you can do as a quarterback is give your receivers a chance to make a play.
That was an opportunity. 7 seconds left in the half.
Let's take another look at this. Moore goes up.
Would have been a whale of a catch to hang on. You know the contact is coming.
7 seconds on the game clock.
Yep, it's a good call. Now you just got to take a shot for the end zone.
Quick little pass to Moore. He's got this one's got some running room. Nearly tripped up and was by his own teammate. They're going to say touch. No, they're going to say down at the 1. Mike McCray made the stop, but I think if we get another look, DJ Moore was tripped up by his own teammate, or else he scores.
It was going to be a touchdown. Look at the effort by 9 in blue, by Mike McCray. That's a linebacker, 240 pounds, and he gets there just in time. That was going to be a touchdown. That's the kind of effort. I guarantee you, this coming week after this game, Jim Harbaugh is going to single out Mike McCray for the effort on that saving touchdown play.
Michigan, 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns. Maryland gets the ball to start the second half, though. Adnan, Joey, and Danny, the Lexus halftime report. All right, in the second half. With Brian Griese, I'm Steve Levy. Todd McShay coming up shortly. Maryland does get the football to start the second half. That was about as perfect a first half as you will see in college football. Every time Michigan had the football, they scored, and they prevented Maryland from scoring even a single point.
Yeah, it's the first time that's happened this season in a conference game in college football. But you know, this offense, how were they going to respond after an emotional game last week at Michigan State? Was there going to be any kind of a letdown? And the overwhelming response was no.
Yes. Just waiting for a sandwich game, right? Letdown city, not the case. And that speaks to good coaching as well. Down to Todd McShay.
The offense was near perfect, and Peppers keeps doing what Jabril Peppers seemingly does every week. Just making plays all over the field on the defensive side. You see him here as the overhang, if you will, kind of in between outside linebacker and safety, so it's patience there and goes and makes the diving tackle. Then you're going to see, again, working a little bit off the line, but still keeping his eyes in the backfield, being patient. And then once he sees this is getting stretched east and west, you see the speed and the finishing ability from Jabril Peppers. Another great half from number 5.
And to me, it'll be interesting to see how much he plays in how many different positions here in blowout mode to start the second half. Dump it off to Ty Johnson, and he's got 7 on first down. As for Peppers, we had him at 10 different positions a week ago. We already have him at 11 today in a half of football.
Well, he threw a pass, too. Well, no, it wasn't a pass because it went backwards. But maybe we'll see that in the second half.
Second down and 3. And the handoff to Lorenzo Harrison. It'll make some people miss and get the first down. And Grease, to me, that's interesting. The fans at home wonder, hey, this is the perfect position to try and get fancy with Peppers, especially on offense. Little razzle-dazzle, maybe even more attention for the Heisman Trophy. But the game is out of hand. Do you think we'll see that?
You know, I think the reality is that Jim Harbaugh is going to operate as usual. I think he's going to play his starters, including Jabril Peppers, into probably the middle part of the interception here.
Intercepted! Delano Hill at midfield. And was there even a white jersey in the neighborhood? Caleb Rowe was picked off. That's the game's first turnover.
This is kind of what pressure does to quarterbacks. You know, you get a guy that's been hit a couple of times in Caleb Rowe, and he's just going to get rid of the ball. He sees pressure coming, and there's nobody in the area. And that's, you know, you can't have that.
Ball is marked to the Maryland 49-yard.
Delano Hill, his second interception of the season. The first time he had a pick, he was able to return it for 27 yards and a pick-6 touchdown against Hawaii. Michigan will start their best field position of the game at the 49 of Maryland. Davion Smith is the ball carrier. They'll carry some people very close to first down yardage.
The ball carrier. Shane Cockrell on the stop.
Take a look at Michigan offensively. We talked about the balance. Over 100 yards rushing, 300 yards passing in that first half. Tim Drevno, their offensive coordinator, been with Jim Harbaugh a long time. Went all the way back to Stanford. They think the same way. And Tim Drevno is very creative as well. I mean, Jim Harbaugh gets a lot of credit, and he's the one that calls the plays on game day. But Tim Drevno, Jed Fish, each of them will contribute quite a bit to this offense. 2nd and 1,
always a chance to be creative. Spadel throw up high for Davion Smith, brought it down, and that'll make a few moves. And deep inside Maryland territory now before Alvin Hill swung him around.
Spate's adding to the passing totals today so far. He had 292 passing yards in the first half. Grease, I'm not sure if it was you that set the record, but that's a new record. It used to be 262 from a Michigan quarterback in the first half.
Well, I wish I was playing against Maryland's defense, but no, it probably was not me.
I should point out, speaking of Maryland's defense, they are without Denzel Conyers and without William Likely.
Yep.
Likely a big-time star. Maryland's version, if you will, of Jabril Peppers, although he's much shorter at 5'7", but he tore his ACL. He's out for the season, ending his college career. Conyers also a very good player in that secondary for Maryland. Not that they would have made a difference here today, not when it's 35-0, but maybe things would have been a little closer.
Yep. I think this second half for Michigan is not going to be about yards. It may not even be about points. It's going to be about an opportunity here for this starting offense to try some new things. I do think that they will try some new things, try to expand their repertoire.
Spate to throw. It's Chesson. First down yardage to 13. Michigan's victories this season have come by an average of 35 points. They only have one-score game the entire season. We were here for that Wisconsin game, 14-7. By comparison, Clemson, their margin of victory is just 19 points on the season. Of course, the committee's not really looking at that anymore, margin of victory.
Well, we did that NC State game where, you know, Clemson very easily could have lost that game or they missed the field goal late. Jabril Peppers at quarterback.
See if they let him throw it. That's Spate, top of your screen. And we get whistles.
Prior to the ball being snapped, timeout. Michigan, their first of the half.
Wilton Spate already has a career high for passing yards. So we're a few minutes into the third quarter.
Hey, honey.
For every situation, and if you put your sky cam over Jim Harbaugh's shoulder, he's going to keep you from seeing his play sheet.
I'm impressed. There's, with everything going on, that they are aware enough to know where our cameras are to block that. That's pretty neat. All right, back out of the timeout. And Spate was looking to throw to Jabril Peppers, and he couldn't hang on. That was the design play out of the timeout, which we were blocked from seeing by the letter B. And Peppers like, that was my chance, right?
Yeah, that was a chance for a touchdown.
Where's Don Brown? I'll focus on defense now. What's next, Coach? The communication, we really drilled down on that this week. The communication about Peppers, how ready he has to be on every snap, offense and defense. Handoff to Smith.
Well, you think there's very few players in college football that are playing both sides as much as Jabril Peppers. And that was a great example there. He comes up, he drops a pass, and before he can even get over there and get a drink of water, Don Brown has some concept adjustment that he needs to talk with him about. So it's, you know, mentally, that's the thing that people don't realize, I think, about Jabril Peppers, how good he is in processing information and the ability to switch back and forth from offense to defense quickly.
Tim Drevno told us he goes during the week to Don Brown out of respect to the defense. Hey, here's what we're thinking about Peppers on offense on Saturday. And then once Don Brown says it's okay, then it's on the offense. Here's Spate looking for the spinorama. And he is taken down. Dropped there by Chandler Burkett. Burkett had a career-high 9 tackles a week ago in Maryland's loss to Indiana. That was a game the Terps really thought they could win. They lost 42-36 at Indiana. That was their chance to get bowl eligible.
Kenny Allen's a big story for Michigan. You know, this kicking unit for Michigan has had its ups and downs this year. So he puts this one through.
It's perfect there. He had missed 4 or 5 field goals during a stretch, but Allen has seemed to figure it out. And look, the Michigan offense stalls for the first time. After 5 possessions and 5 touchdowns, it's a field goal. What about the Heisman Trophy? Where's Jabril Peppers' name on that list when we come back?
Tattoos, I was like, well, only because you have 30 plus, I'll take it.
If it was 29, no can do.
What's the cutoff?
So he had a shirt on or shirt off?
Off.
Shirt off. Got it. Here's DJ Moore, thankfully. At the 20, trying the far side. And DJ Moore, nice return there. Maryland will get the football, but not before we get into little Heismanology. Joe Tessitore does such a good job every week going through all the ESPN personalities who have a Heisman vote, including our Todd McShay. And a big jump up, Todd, this week for Jabril Peppers from 3 to 2.
Yeah, I've had him at 2 for a while now. Lamar Jackson, I agree. I think Lamar Jackson right now, he's done. They continue to win. He's the #1. Peppers right behind him. And I think it's a big drop-off. I don't think Deshaun Watson has played nearly as well this year as he did a year ago, especially late in the season. But Clemson keeps winning, so they're playing in it.
Caleb Rowe to throw on first down. And connected DeAndre Lane, his first catch, and he has the first down.
You know, I think that Heisman Trophy, as we know, every single year, You know, we track it. It doesn't matter until November. What do these guys do in November? And I'm telling you right now, Jabril Peppers has every opportunity to win the Heisman Trophy. Lamar Jackson has been spectacular. His biggest games coming up the rest of the season, Houston and Kentucky. Jabril Peppers has Ohio State. That's what matters.
Here's Lorenzo Harrison down the sideline. He has first down yardage. Down to the 30-yard line of Michigan. Delano Hill forced him out. We talked to Peppers about winning the Heisman Trophy, and he said it wasn't that big a deal to him, but his eyes lit up. You know what he really wants? He wants the trip to New York.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't win the trophy, he wants the trip to New York, and he even said if he had the vote, Lamar Jackson would get his vote right now. He thinks Jackson's been that special. Maryland on the move. And Ty Johnson, loss of one. Mike McCray to stop.
That being said, he said, I dreamed about winning the Heisman when I was growing up. And I think college football needs Jabril Peppers in New York, and Jonathan Allen for that matter. But the story of Jabril Peppers and his upbringing, having his dad being incarcerated when he was 7, he lost his brother when he was 14. He had 2 negative influences at home and made the choice to be a positive influence. And college football needs to hear that story. And kids around this country need to hear Jabril Peppers' story to know that it's still their choice no matter what situation they're in. And Jabril made the right choice, and he's now living out his dream.
I can't add anything to that part. Well said. Third and 11 from Maryland. Perry Hills, the starting quarterback, was knocked out, replaced by Caleb Rowe. Rowe throwing, juggled and knocked away. Channing dribbling on the coverage. That ball looked like it was right there.
Yeah, it was a good throw there by Rowe. Give him credit. He's taken a couple of big shots in the pocket. And one time Moore had an opportunity to make a contested play downfield, and that time an opportunity by Jacobs to get a big first down, and neither wide receiver able to help their young quarterback.
4th and 11. They're in 4-down territory the rest of the game. Harrison's the setback to send him out wide. Rowe throwing off the back foot. Took a chance and nearly intercepted. Looking for DJ Moore. But it was Brandon Watson on the coverage who nearly had the pick. We'll step out. Michigan football with a 38-point lead.
Washington, Cal, tonight at 10:30 on ESPN.
Qualifiers is Charles going to throw out there? A Heisman candidate? He should be a front runner from Charles.
Go to the postseason, maybe the Outback Bowl. I don't know. I didn't
have to talk to Charles about that.
I'll see you Monday night in Seattle. I'll send your best. With Davion Smith, ball carrier. Second and short.
Charles knows what it's going to take to win the Heisman. It's the game against Ohio State, and on the biggest stage, he made some of the biggest plays in that game. This was a pass. I give him a hard time because he shouldn't have got caught from behind. That should have been a touchdown. But then he has this signature moment, the punt return for a touchdown, and Michigan we were ranked #1 in the country here. We had to have this game, and he made interception in the end zone there. I mean, he made 3 huge plays in that game. That's what Jabril Peppers needs to do.
I thought you should have let him a little more on that pass. Then he definitely doesn't get caught from behind. Darboh on the receiving end, and a flag flies at the end of the play. Every yard that Spate passes for now will continue to add to his career high. Having himself an afternoon.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
To is Shane Cockerell, the quarterback turned linebacker.
And Maryland's got to be careful that they keep their composure here in the second half. I don't think that's a personal foul. It doesn't need to be called there, but regardless, DJ Durkin is going to watch this second half of this film closely to see what kind of integrity his defense and his team overall, for that matter, plays with.
Chris Evans is the setback. Handed off to the receiver coming around. And Evans, the ball carrier.
Chris Evans, the ball carrier.
Tonight on ESPN, college football action continues. Pac-12 showdown. 5th ranked and undefeated Washington takes on Cal. Huskies and the Golden Bears on ESPN College Football, presented by Geico. 10:30 Eastern on ESPN, also available live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
You know the Huskies are fired up that A&M lost today.
That's right. Maybe open things up.
They better be careful though. Davis Webb, they can throw the football around.
Here's Spate to throw. And complete to Darboh. Will be a little short of that first down.
Josh Woods on the tackle.
Not only that, but Washington's they got a tough schedule down the stretch. They play USC next week, and then on the road at Washington State. They
Apple Cup.
in the Apple Cup. And then who knows, in the Pac-12 championship, they might be playing the Colorado Buffaloes.
AFC number 10, Jawan Bushell-Beatty.
He's your favorite Michigan player, isn't he?
Well, he stands out. It just looks so odd with everybody else having their name on their uniform. Here's Spate to throw. One-handed grab. Did he pull it in? Khalid Hill, he did. What a catch. Now, he's going to be short of the marker, but still, what a grab.
This is 265 pounds. Control it all the way to the ground, big fella.
Don't even look at that again, please. Yeah. Just give him the catch.
Don't disrespect him by taking a review of that one.
And Hill, of course, is their touchdown maker at the goal line. To be able to be your power back with 10 touchdowns on the season and the ability to make that similar catch. Wow, that's expensive talent. Spate. He lose that football. You give it to Poggi going through the first.
I'm not sure. I think he tried to give it to Khalid Hill. They got a little fancy. They brought Khalid Hill in motion into that position to try to disguise it. And I don't think the Wilton's
trying to push him through.
Somebody needs to tell Wilton that, Khalid Hill goes 265. I don't think he needs a whole lot of help getting through the line of scrimmage.
So there's a rarity. Michigan turns it over on downs.
Hill's a special player. I don't think he gets enough credit. I mean, he's a workman. He blue collar every single week. He's a lead blocker for Davion Smith and others. But they feed him when they get down inside the 5-yard line.
Reese, he had 20 rushing attempts and 9 rushing touchdowns. How's that percentage? Quick throw is a beauty to Ty Johnson. Caleb Rowe throws a nice football, Reese.
Yeah, he's going to continue to pull the trigger. Walt Bell, they're young and energetic offensive coordinator. If there's any time on the clock, they're going to continue to run their offense, take their shots downfield.
Gain of 35 on that play. Rowe coming in an impossible spot at Michigan against this Wolverines defense. And coming in after the injury to Perry Hills. Ben Gideon the stop. Ty Johnson remains down on the field.
Boy, and Johnson went down hard. Gideon on top of him. This is one of the best players on Maryland's team, along with Lorenzo Harrison, and this offense needs Ty Johnson for the remainder of the season.
Ty Johnson just 12 yards on the ground today so far. He had 2 consecutive 100-yard rushing games coming into this one. Todd.
And he was averaging 10.4 yards per carry coming into this game. I mean, these running backs really are the story and the guys that Maryland's going to try to build around. They want to run the football effectively. They've been able to in most games this year. And Ty Johnson, you see now dealing with his injury, and Lorenzo Harrison, number 6, who was averaging 7.3 yards coming into today, are 2 of their best young players.
Well, they're going to need him too, Todd. This schedule we talked about for Maryland is in a stretch here where it's difficult, right? Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska. That's the next 3 weeks. And then, they got one chance at the end against Rutgers. But this team is at 5 wins. They need to get to 6 wins and get those extra practices around bowl season. That's critical, and they're going to need Ty Johnson to compete in those games.
We asked DJ Durkin about this stretch of the schedule. He got deep and philosophical with us. He said, it is what it is. That's what are you going to do? Got to play the teams in front of you. They really needed that win last week at Indiana. They couldn't get. 2nd and 6. They lost the turnover battle a week ago, 2-0, and that was the ball game. Rowe will keep it himself. They'll bring about a 3rd and 5. Jabril Peppers on the tackle.
We talked about processing information. Look how fast Peppers recognizes this. He's not fooled. He's watched the film. Well, he says that football comes pretty easy to him, and that was a big reason why.
Don Brown said he's the fastest processing football information that he's ever been around. You think about all the great players Don Brown's been around, that's a huge statement.
And when we saw him yesterday, he was freshman psychology class, and he said he was learning about mental processing of relationships. So it goes hand in hand with what he's doing on the field.
You know, his mom said, you know, when you face adversity, it can give you an opportunity to really focus your energy and your passion on something meaningful. And Jabril Peppers pretty clearly, every single time he steps on the field, he knows he's playing for more than just himself. And that humility goes a long way in that Michigan locker room.
4th and 2. That's Harrison in motion. They give it to Harrison. Boy, he was thinking about throwing it there for a second. Instead, he's thinking about taking a big loss. Ben Gideon was first to get there. Maryland has tried 3 times to convert on 4th down. But look at the scoreboard as you would expect. They are 0 for 3 on those conversions.
Yeah, just look at the pursuit from this defense. They bring Peppers on a blitz. Gideon got leverage on the outside. This is why I think all defenses should be judged by one stat and one stat only: points. Yards mean nothing, right? Maryland's gone. They've had some movement on offense. They've got 271 yards total offense, but they haven't sniffed the end zone.
Michigan giving up 11.5 points per game on average. Spate comes out throwing and completing to Jake Butt, the tight end. Time now for today's Aflac trivia question. We ask, how many current FBS head coaches were first-round NFL draft picks? And this question is so much better than last week's because I know the answer.
Did I get fired from the Aflac? I thought I nailed it last week.
No, you're one and done, McShay.
Yeah, you just didn't like the question.
We needed you on the thinking side, not on the reading side.
All right.
Yeah, anybody can read a card. Where's the teleprompter? Point me in the right direction. On 1st down and 10. There's Davion Smith. Got 1st down yardage. Carving up this Maryland defense. Yeah, the yardage numbers you point out can be misleading. Not the Michigan yardage so much. That's right on. 1st and 10. Little delayed handoff. Davion Smith, nothing delayed about it after he has the ball. Very close to 1st down yardage. Alvin Hill brought him down. Jake Butt, that last reception he had, he becomes Michigan's all-time leading tight end in receiving yards, passing Jim Mandich.
Wow. Mad Dog Mandich.
Who was your go-to tight end? Who was your guy you threw to?
I had 2 great tight ends. Jeremy Tooman, went on to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mark Campbell, 2 great tight ends. Jeremy Tooman caught a couple of touchdowns. Big in that undefeated season.
Ron Higdon, the ball carrier.
No, but Michigan's always had great tight ends. Going back to Jim Mandich, and Jim passed away a couple years back. We miss him, but he was a captain here for Bo, the first captain for Bo Schembechler at Michigan, and for Jake Butt. Trust me, he knew about that record, and that's a huge accomplishment for Jake Butt to pass legend and Jim Mandich.
Final 65 seconds of quarter number 3. Smith trying to pick his way down to the goal line.
And subsequently, Jim Mandich, as many know, went on to play for the Miami Dolphins, caught a bunch of touchdowns from my old man. and they were part of their own undefeated season.
Quarterbacks always seem to have a special relationship with the tight end. They bail you out of a whole lot of trouble.
Absolutely.
Michigan up to 524 yards. Offense. Davion Smith. They can get a first down, and they should. Some frustration. Now by Maryland. That is understandable as the flag flies. Spates in there trying to calm everybody down with 16 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, that's Mason Cole right in the middle, and he was getting into it last week with Malik McDowell. Now it's Kingsley Opara. You know, he's a fiery player.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 57, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. That is number 57's first unsportsmanlike act of the ball game.
That's Patrick Kugler. And I understand what the officials are trying to do. They want to, this kind of game at 38-0, want to keep everybody in check here.
Yep.
Good idea to throw the flag.
Let's take a look at Mason Cole, 52. He's just trying to get Avon Walker off of him, and then he falls into his partner. And then, I think that's just kind of the talk.
Spates to throw. Back of the end zone, trying to hook up with Tyrone Wheatley. Speaking of tight ends.
Yeah, Tyrone Wheatley got his touchdown, first touchdown catch on the year, last couple of weeks, and that was big for him because there's been a lot of talk about how good of a potential left tackle young Ty Wheatley might be, but he says, I want to be a tight end, I want to catch some balls.
That was a 21-yard touchdown catch against Illinois. Second and goal. 4 seconds left in the quarter. This is Khalid Hill area, but it's Davion Smith. Gets there. Touchdown, Michigan.
That's a fitting way to end the third quarter. And if I were Jim Harbaugh, I'd take all my starters on offense out of this game. There's a lot of talking going on after this play. That was a physical drive. Now you just want to keep people healthy.
Extra point. This will be the final play, quarter number 3. Kenny Allen puts it through. Michigan's had the football 8 different times, 8 possessions. They've got 6 touchdowns, 1 field goal. Turned it over on down. And everything else made very busy day and night in sports. Sports Center at night after college football here on ESPN. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. 45-0 favor of the home team. And Maryland will look to do something with it. DJ Moore finds a seam. And out to the 27-yard line. We asked earlier our Athletic trivia question. How many current FBS head coaches were first-round NFL draft picks? Now, one of them's obvious, I think.
Harbaugh, 87 Bears.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I got nothing else.
Yeah, that's the only one I know.
Oh.
It's because that's the only one there is.
Never mind.
See,
sort of a trick question.
Only because you try to.
So we got it right?
Conceive.
Unfortunately, you both got it right.
All right.
That gives me no fodder.
I'll handle this again next week.
No fodder for next week.
You obviously picked that question.
Why would I pick it?
You're going with the obvious.
I wish McShay asked me that because I could have gotten that one.
Not last week, you couldn't have.
Here's Rowe. That question last week, I get. Mo Hurst makes the stop.
We're learning about Levy here, Greasy. He's got a little competitive in him. He did not like not knowing last week.
Yeah, his SAT, he got a high score. He likes to get things right.
Jacobs on the receiving end. Are we checking with Adnan Vernon?
All right, Leaves, thank you very much. No trick questions here. Real straightforward. Oklahoma State is down by 9 against Kansas State late third quarter. And this is Mason Rudolph here to Austin Hayes. Cowboys now down by 2. It's either on ABC or ESPN2, depending on where you are. Leaves?
All right, Adam, thank you. 3rd down and 5 upcoming. And here's Rowe. Pressure right up the middle in his face. Got it away to Teldrick Morgan, who went down to the turf, and the whistle blows. Let's see.
Brought down by LeVert.
Great job by Rowe. Take a look at Jabril Peppers coming right in your grill. Stand in there. Throws the ball just good enough, a little bit low, but
First down, Maryland.
I think that feels like, Steve.
Now at the 39
Well, and smart by Peppers, by the way. They could have taken a shot to veer away from the quarterback.
He gets on you so fast. You think you have more time than you do.
On 1st down and 10, that's Harrison who's shifting. And they'll give it to Harrison. He'll try the right side. Would it surprise you guys if I told you Jabril Peppers, in this campaign to win the Heisman Trophy, a #2 on Heismanology as far as we are concerned, he does not have an interception this season?
No, it wouldn't surprise me because, you know, he doesn't play that position anymore. You know, he was playing that position, started at corner, played some safety, but he has been more of an impactful player to this defense, despite the fact that he's not intercepting the football. I think it's been the right move for him.
Again, as he said, he loves to hit more than cover. Speaking of hitting, Caleb Rowe is taken down. It's Mo Hurst again.
by Maurice Hurst.
Hurst showing up in a big way here in the 2nd half.
Mo Hurst doesn't get a whole lot of attention on this defensive line. We talk about Wormley, we talk about Charlton and Glasgow, but Mo Hurst is one of the more explosive defensive linemen in the Big Ten. He is very difficult to block.
3rd and 13 upcoming. And we get whistles at sea.
Timeout for Michigan.
Timeout. Michigan.
Take a timeout. Come back with something for you to chuckle about.
But according to NFL rules, the club should not have been able to release his client because he was injured. The agent claims that at the request of the team, Hurst has been playing with a bulging disc in his neck since the start of the season. The Patriots spokesperson declined comment on the matter.
I also wanted to decline comment after that report.
Wow.
I was off by a letter. I misspoke.
You can do
It was a big letter.
You do 3 hours of live television and be great, and you got one read?
People wanted to blame it on the teleprompter. It was spelled correctly, I assure you. Here's Rowe on the run, throwing and completing to Wes Brown. And he's down to the 25. They throw a flag at the end of the play.
To Wes Brown. Tackled by Devin Bush.
Look, we all have our embarrassing moments. That was back in 1995.
That, I mean, the composure with which you display after you say that to continue on, I mean, what a professional.
And I was sitting next to Keith Olbermann at the time, and Keith had the lines to see if we have any video of that, which brought the house down again. The cameras were shaking, everybody was laughing. Hey, you got to be known for something, Grease.
You are known for that.
Got to be known for something.
And great job on you to bring it back up, right?
Well, it happened to be his son by the same name. It was just so perfect. Penalty was for a face mask.
You start sweating
on Devin Bush.
right when you said it.
No, that was before the sweating phase. Perspiration. I was a young man back then.
Yeah, sharp.
There he is again for you, Big Mo Hurst.
It all comes together.
As if he knew we were talking about him and his family.
He says, enough, Levy. Don't talk about my dad. You need to start talking about me.
He's a smart young man, two-time academic All-Big Ten selection. 6.5 tackles for loss this season, 4th most on the team. Mo Hurst, big part of this Michigan defense. 11th tackles for losses by the Wolverines today. Rowe is throwing, looking for DJ Moore, and it's knocked away. Excellent coverage by Jordan Lewis.
They continue to try to throw the ball on Jordan Lewis, and I don't understand it. Your guy's not going to be open against 26 in blue. Great coverage. Look at him get his head around and play the football.
He's as good as there is in the country at that. I mean, he's in your hip pocket all day and does a great job of reading receivers' eyes. When that ball goes in the air, receiver's eyes get big, and when he sees those eyes get big, he turns around and finds the football, tracks it over his shoulder, like I said, as well as any cover corner I've watched this year.
Todd, where do you have him on the corners coming out?
He's one of the top 5. I think I've got him number 32 overall. He's got a chance, I would say, probably early second round.
Again, Rowe is throwing, and again, it's Lewis knocking it.
What are we doing here?
He's locking down on DJ Moore, Todd.
And Lewis is just a complete player, even though he's 5'9", and he's 171 pounds. But this guy, he plays bigger, he's physical, and the cover skills are excellent, as I said. And what I love, we watched against Michigan State last week, taking on offensive linemen out on lead blocks. He has no fear. He'll mix it up when he needs to.
I think Todd just took 2 inches away from Jordan Lewis. He's listed at 5'11", 186. He took 15 pounds from him, too.
NFL scouts get their hands. They wind up getting real numbers, my friend.
37-yard field goal attempt from Adam Green is good. And Maryland is on the board. They still trail by 42 against Northwestern.
Yeah, they got Ohio State's offense is not firing like it has in the past. I think they got 2 great offensive linemen, Pat Elflein, Billy Price. The other 3 guys are new, and they haven't been able to protect J.T. Barrett, and they just haven't been able to get explosive plays from their wide receivers on a consistent basis. They've got to figure that out in a hurry.
And that is not Jabril Peppers back to return the kick. We've seen him all game. Chris Evans is back. And he'll try to make a move. Little stutter step is a beauty and cuts it back. And try to make some more moves. Nobody's telling Chris Evans this game is over. He's looking for more yardage. Take a look at our Valero drive recap. And I mean, this started shortly after the national anthem.
Yeah, the first drive of the game, Michigan came out. Bunch of different personnel groupings. This was a big 3rd down conversion to J.U. Chesson on a play that was cleared out by 3 tight ends. You get number 5 involved. You always want to do that early. And then it was capped off. Big throws down the field. Mara Darbo showed up as an All-American candidate this season.
John O'Korn is in a quarterback for Michigan, and he's handing it off to Ty Isaac. Isaac racing down the sideline. Gets a great block, and he's bumped out. Kakoa Crawford, the wide receiver, came over to make a nice block for Isaac to get him an additional 10 yards.
Now, in this blocking up front, they've left their number 1 offensive line in the game. And Davion Smith had the last drive, and now it's Ty Isaac's turn. And at 230 pounds, at 6'3", with that kind of speed at the second level, it's a pretty good combination.
Ripped off 53 yards there. This Maryland defense just getting gashed against the run and the pass.
They gave up 414 yards rushing last week to Indiana. I mean, we kind of knew that this was an issue coming in.
Timeout. Michigan, their 3rd and final timeout at half.
That is bizarre. Michigan by 42, and they've used all 3 timeouts already.
Full media timeout.
We will eradicate the authority of the earth.
We sent men beyond.
College football playoff.
And you'll see it every Tuesday night in all the 6 sets of rankings. They've already come out with the first one from the committee. And the committee said Michigan wasn't the 2nd best team in the country. The committee said Michigan was number 3. And as if the Wolverines were insulted, they're up 45-3. And looking to add to that with Davion Smith down by the goal line.
First look at John O'Korn today. He was the other participant in the offseason quarterback battle with Wilton Spate, transfer from Houston. And he came in with high hopes. You know, he sat out a year. Give him credit. I was talking with him yesterday. He says he and Wilton are best friends on the team. And it says a lot when you can go through a battle like that and still be close.
And 2nd down and 1. Davion Smith. He's in for the touchdown. He wants that ball. But he was going to hand it to his offensive line. Michigan on the other side of 50. They're going to wear out this song this afternoon. Probably can't play it enough, right?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Kenny Allen to attempt the extra point.
Extra point is good, make it 52-3. So let's get into some of that playoff talk in the college football rankings. Were you okay with Michigan going down from 2 to 3, or were you somewhat surprised?
I don't put a whole lot of stock into it at this point, but I do think that Michigan should have been ranked 2nd. I think, obviously what Texas A&M had done to Auburn, they did to Auburn when Auburn's offense was not clicking like it is now. I think there was a lot, put into that. And Clemson, certainly a good team, should be in the Final Four, but I think they're 3 in my book.
All right. Predictions? Look at Ryan and Todd. They're both smiling now.
Is that you happy now, Levy?
I'm happy you're happy.
Not a whole lot of difference there.
It's interesting. What a big game tonight. LSU, Alabama, huge opportunity for LSU. And if you're an Ohio State or Michigan fan, if you're in the Big Ten and have any chance, Wisconsin, I guess, throw in there as well, you really want Alabama to run the table, because you don't want that second SEC team creeping in, because if the Pac-12, if Washington loses, the Pac-12's out. The Big 12's already out. And so that could open up that 4th spot from one of the other 3 conferences, the ACC, SEC, and the Big Ten. And
yeah, Todd, I think that we're going to be treating Alabama and Michigan kind of the same way here. You could say the same thing about Michigan. People want Michigan to continue to win out, because if for some reason they lost to Ohio State by 3 points and didn't go to the Big Ten championship game, it was very difficult to keep that one-loss Michigan team, the way they played, out of that top 4.
And Maryland will take over. Hand off to Wes Brown. Brown spawned right into the arms of Jabril Peppers.
Wes Brown.
There's a sneaky road game next week for Michigan. They go to Iowa.
Night game.
Yeah, you see they've lost 4 of the last 5 there. Certainly Indiana at home here, and then the big game on the road in Columbus. I know that Ohio State has not looked like the Ohio State of the last couple of years, at least the last couple of weeks, against Penn State and Northwestern, but they'll be ready for that game.
And people in general should not overreact to the first rankings, the initial rankings put out by the committee. When you look at the first 2 years of the college football playoff, so 8 teams in the initial rankings, right? 4 and 4. 5 of those 8 teams in the initial playoff rankings failed to make the playoff. So let's not overreact to 1, 2, 3, and 4 at this point.
Yeah, but I do think that this year is going to be a little bit different than the previous 2. I don't think we're going to see as much mayhem in the top 4 as we have in previous 2 years.
And people in the beginning of the season, Grease, were talking about a 2-loss team getting in. Big completion down the sideline. Malcolm. Like Malcolm Comer. No, I beg your pardon, Avery Edwards on the receiving end of that Caleb Rowe throw.
But that's a good point. At the beginning of the season, one of those things with the playoff conversation was, can a two-loss team get in? And to me, it would be Wisconsin. If Wisconsin runs the rest of their regular season schedule and goes to the Big Ten championship and beats a Michigan, Ohio State, you're hard to keep them out.
Rowe buying some time and throwing on the run. Couldn't complete to Teldrin Morgan. Jordan Glasgow able to knock it away.
LSU's still good, too. I mean, LSU gets a win tonight. See how things play out. That would make, obviously, they would have the advantage over Alabama in a tiebreaker. They have 2 losses, but remember, one when we covered that game, it was Wisconsin non-conference. So there's still so much football to be played. I'll tell you what, Michigan's got a tough one at Kinnick Stadium. I know Iowa's not great this year, but that's always a tough place to go play.
The other one in the SEC, Todd, was Florida, but they're losing by 2 touchdowns on the road at Arkansas. Right?
Really?
I caught Ed Ogeron's act this morning with Sam Ponder on game day. How do you not root for that guy? Toledo Hill had the coverage on Lieber and Jacobs, and able to turn it over on the interception the other way. Second interception of the day. Toledo Hill leading that Michigan defense. Classic. Yeah, it's that time of year. Getting ready for college hoops. All right. 52-3. One M is having a lot better day than the other M. It's all Michigan here, from start to finish. John O'Korn in the quarterback. Throwing and completing to Kekoa Crawford. And they'll move the chains. Honorary captain today was former Michigan quarterback Rick Leach. Actually started 11 of 12 games as a freshman.
He was a great player, one of the best athletes to ever play the quarterback position for Michigan.
An honorary captain, that's a big deal here at Michigan, with all the tradition and history. O'Korn handing off to Karan Higdon, the ball carrier. You know, I remember this game against Duke in 1977. Rick Leach had a big touchdown run. What's significant about this is, who's the little young kid on the field? That's Jim Harbaugh, people.
What a great photo that is. He said he was on the sideline. He was a plugger, which means he would plug, you know, cords into the outlets on the sideline to help them with the spotters to announce on the PA who had made the play on the field.
Right, because it couldn't reach the entire length of the field. So every, you know,
sounds like the most made-up job I've ever heard.
Just
I mean, let's be honest.
Just a way to get on the side.
Exactly. He had the best seat in the house, didn't he?
That's great. How about he scores that touchdown and he's like on top of Rick Leach's back, you know, patting him on the back.
My question to you is, how about if Wilton Speight was in the end zone and a ball boy from Michigan was that close to him? How would Harbaugh react to that? Would he be okay with that?
He'd love it.
Harbaugh was a bat boy for the baseball team.
Guy always carries his glove. O'Korn throwing, looking for Crawford again, and it's knocked away. Tino Ellis had the coverage. There's a flag down. Back by O'Korn.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 41, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Jesse Adebonham.
Adebonham comes right up and okay.
We almost had a Kenny Allen punt. We haven't had one today. He kicked a lot of extra points. No punts. There's DJ Durkin. He's still coaching. He's still working. He's telling the officials. 2 teams out here today. 2 teams. Not one. Pitch to Higdon. Good second effort. He's still working too. Karan Higdon. Mentioned Jim Harbaugh always carried. He still brings his glove to baseball games. And that's his dad on the left. This is from Game 5 of the World Series. His dad is a lifelong Cleveland Indians fan. And there's Harbaugh with a Cubs hat on.
I thought it was great. He was telling us, you know, he thinks he's caught legitimately 21 balls.
Yes.
Right. He's got 21 balls.
Batted balls, not that thrown to him.
Right.
Foul balls or home runs from actual Major League Baseball games.
And he only gave 1 to a kid. You know, Sarah's wife was giving him a hard time. He needed to give the ball to a kid, and he gave it to the kid. As you see Chris Evans here break through the line.
The kid was bothering him. Mister, can I have the ball? Can I have the ball?
And what does Jim Harbaugh say? No. No, you get your own ball.
You got to earn it.
You got to earn it. You got to work.
Teach him a lesson.
So Sarah's still on him, telling him, "Come on, Jim, you got to give the kid the ball." So he turns around, gives the kid the ball, and the kid says, "Yes, it's my 6th ball this week."
And Jim looks at his wife and goes, "Are you happy now?" Sure.
I mean, 21 balls though.
The other great story, he said, back in the day, he was on a date at Wrigley in the bleachers as the quarterback of the Bears. Okay. Now, he's not the starting quarterback. He's still
a first-round draft pick.
A quarterback of the Chicago Bears in the bleachers at Wrigley. and he dove for a baseball and came up with mustard all over his shirt. But he brought his glove on a date as the quarterback of the Bears.
First and last date.
Yeah, did not see her again. These things tend to work out the way they're supposed to work out, right?
Oh, my goodness.
His favorite team? Today, apparently, it's the Oakland A's. Harbaugh's got like 9 different favorite teams.
Increase the odds of success. He's got a lot of personnel groupings, you know?
Yes. He rotates his favorite teams like his running backs. This is Chris Evans. Under 4 to play now. Man likes his baseball. America's pastime. How good was the World Series, man? That was great drama, great theater. Everyone enjoyed that. Even in Cleveland, they enjoyed it a little bit till the very end.
How about there was one I saw on Twitter. There was one lady who is still alive. She's 108 years old.
Right.
She was a Cubs fan, so she was the only one on the planet that had seen both of the Cubs championships.
That's an amazing story. Can't believe everything you read on Twitter. I have to tell you that. Touchdown to Cohen Crawford from John O'Korn. O'Korn's second passing touchdown of the season.
You got to feel good for John O'Korn there. You know, he's been kind of in the shadows this year because of the emergence of Wilton Speight, but gets his opportunity, comes in and executes the offense and finishes it off with a touchdown.
Kenny Allen to attempt the extra point.
And the Wolverines will tack on another. How about 59-3? Well, the latest craze all the kids are doing, it's going viral. It's the mannequin challenge. Pittsburgh Steelers did it the other day as well. And see the Wolverines executing a flawless rendition of the challenge in which a video camera sweeps across the room. Everyone holds a pose. And it's a whole lot of fun. And apparently everyone's doing it. And I think, you know, the way college football is going, oh, I see. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Pretty good, Grease. All right, give me some. My man.
I can do that all game, the rest of the fourth quarter if you want me to.
Let's see what McShay's doing right now. Where's McShay when you need him? See if he can strike.
He's been known to go into mannequin mode in the fourth quarter of blowouts. I'll just say that.
So the mannequin challenge. I mean, like, what's next? What's going to be the next viral craze? There he is, working hard. Hold it, McShay. Don't crack. You can do it. There you go.
Somebody needs to combine the ice bucket challenge with the mannequin challenge. He's running out of breath there.
Maryland.
You always count on Bert to find me down here, our camera guy.
On short notice, too. Tonight, college football action teams. It's a Pac-12 showdown. This figures to be a little closer than 59-3. Undefeated Washington takes on Cal. Huskies, Golden Bears, ESPN College Football presented by Geico. Good job. We got a lot of love for you, too. On the spot. See our third different quarterback for Maryland, Tyrell Pigrom. Has checked in. He's a true freshman from Pinson, Alabama. And he hands off to the senior Wes Brown. And I mean, Michigan is still attacking the ball carrier. Full vengeance. No let up at all.
And Tyrell, they affectionately refer to him as Piggy. Played the second half against Penn State, then started the Minnesota game. And, you know, it had been pretty for Maryland in this game, but they played well offensively the last couple of weeks when they got their starting quarterback Perry Hills back, and they're trying to figure out if Piggy is the future at the quarterback position for DJ Durkin coming years.
We were a little surprised to not see him right away when Hills first went down. That's Jake Funk, the ball carrier.
I don't think you want to put a true freshman in that situation. You still got a whole half of football. This is one of the best defenses in college football. You don't want to expose him to that kind of a situation. I think it was a good call.
3rd down and 9 upcoming. Pigrom scored the game-winning touchdown in double overtime against UCF. Had a 24-yard touchdown run on his first play.
He's quick. He can run the football. They don't throw the ball a whole lot when he's in on offense, but might throw it here on 3rd and 10.
He is throwing out to Funk. And Jake will put his head down and has the first down.
Good run there by Jake Funk, another true freshman. So DJ Durkin trying to get some of his younger players some reps. The thing that's jumped out about Jake Funk talking to coaches, they said he was the best special teams player on this Maryland team, and as a true freshman, that's saying something.
He was the Maryland Gatorade Player of the Year in 2015. We're down to the final minute 45. 13 tackles for losses by the Michigan defense today.
Yeah, not surprising. You know, I think, like we were talking about earlier, the two best defenses in college football are Alabama and Michigan. And after that, I think there's a big drop-off. And I think the difference is for Michigan this season, they have a defensive line that is SEC caliber.
How about their second team on the defensive line? They would be right up there nationally, too. That's the depth, rolling everybody, keeping people fresh.
Yeah, well, talk about DJ Durkin, right? And certainly this hasn't gone the way he wanted, but he's got his fingerprints all over this Michigan defense as well. These guys were recruited by Brady Hoke. They were trained by DJ Durkin a year ago, and now that man right there, Don Brown and Greg Madison on the left, they're polishing these guys now and really taking this defense to the next level.
Michigan's about to go 6-0 in the conference for the first time since 2007. That didn't end up so well. The Wolverines lost their final 2 conference games that year.
Yeah, and the Ohio State game a year ago was ugly, real ugly. And the big reason why is because they had attrition on that defensive line. A bunch of guys got hurt. I don't think they're going to have any issues like that this year with 8, 9 guys rotating in.
Final 60 seconds. So if the defense comes down to nationally Michigan and Alabama, then it's the offense that comes out and wins, right?
Yeah.
And can Michigan's offense, could they keep up, and if they would ever meet on the same field?
Michigan's offense, they are getting better every week, and it's been impressive. Now, you look at Alabama's offense, they have been explosive as well, and they're doing it in a different way, right? Jalen Hurts, as a true freshman, they haven't asked him to throw the ball down the field a whole bunch. It's been his feet. So you look at that matchup, that would be fascinating to watch. Harbaugh against Saban, Kiffin against Don Brown.